The Arizona Cardinals are banged up, and we have a lot of interesting updates. Former players returning to the Cardinals. He's an 8-year veteran, I believe, and he is finally back. And we need him because clearly we are just completely depleted and we need all the help we can get. So today we're going to be going over the injuries, the updates, and some crazy little tidbits that I found and something that kind of stands out to me. I'm not going to play the clip, but Paris Johnson dropped a gem and we will be talking about that in just a second. Also, if you guys want to help me out, as you guys see, this is Bleacher Report on the website. You can also download the app. But if you see these videos, I am posting Cardinals content on Bleacher Report under Mythic AZYT. So if you guys want to check me out, catch Cardinals content, I'm posting 4 videos every single week, and we stream right after the games. The videos on this channel might come a little bit later. It's because I go live on Bleacher. So if you want my initial reactions, follow me, Mythic AZYT, or you can go to Teams if you're on browser. Go to the Cardinals section. As you guys know, we do Cardinals content. And follow me up, or look for thumbnails that just look like mine. My video right here. So if you guys want to support, go ahead, hit the flame, like it up, show some support. We're on the road to 100 followers on Bleacher Report. We're currently at 74. It would be much appreciated. And we're also on the road to 10K, so smack subscribe. But with that being said, let's dive into this, because we can hop into this. Danny Sarek says, this is the people in the list that we saw of people not practicing. Kelvin Beachum to a groin, Jonah Williams to a shoulder, Will Hernandez, knee, Will Johnson, hip, back, Amari, ankle, rabbit, ankle, Baron Browning, concussion. Disgusting. The injury report is insane. And Bo Brock also touched on this. This was yesterday. He said no Will Johnson, Will Hernandez, rabbit, Baron Browning, and Jonah Williams at practice. Kelvin Beachum also just not there. So this is crazy. And Kelvin Beachum typically takes these days off, but we'll see what happens because he was banged up. So 2 reports from 2 insiders, and it's not looking good for us. The Cardinals just continually lack depth. And if we're without Jonah Williams, oh no. Like, this is something that should have happened a long time ago, but Kelvin Beachum being banged up, that does suck. Jonah Williams would not mind if he got pulled. Will Hernandez, we'll see if he can kind of get into the flow of things. He has had some good plays, but he definitely doesn't look like the same Will Hernandez. Obviously, he's shown flashes. He has looked pretty solid, but obviously coming off an ACL, it's hard to be 300 pounds and actually come back and bounce back after basically tearing your knee. It's never a good thing. But the Cardinals just continually banged up. Will Johnson had injury concerns coming out of college. He's been on the injury report a lot, but when he does play, he looks really good. Rabbit being on an injury is not good, but we have some good news. Well, kinda. The good news comes with the bad, and that's just kind of how this season has gone. We've seen the injury report constantly, and you gotta sprinkle in some negative to have a little bit of positive. So Adam Schefter says the Cardinals have ruled out wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. and Amari DiMercado for Sunday's game versus the Jaguars. So we're without our wide receiver one again. We'll see if Michael Wilson can keep it up. This is kind of the opportunity I wanted him to see. And Marvin, we all expected him to kind of miss this. So I'm not mad. I'm really not. I kind of want to see if Michael Wilson can shine as a wide receiver one. And hopefully it's not a bunch of dink and dunks from the whole team. Michael Wilson looked great, though. Like, dink and dunks aside, Michael Wilson was stretching the field, looking exceptional. And it's kind of what you want to see from Marvin Harrison Jr., so we'll see what happens. But if Michael Wilson thrives with Marvin out once again, I mean, there's some serious conversations about if Michael Wilson is that guy or not. So we'll see. Amari DiMercado is also out. That is 3 running backs now gone. But speaking of running backs, they also opened the 21-day practice window for Trey Benson, who was at practice and getting a couple reps in. Doesn't look completely fluid, but he's coming back into it. That 21-day window is open, so at some point we should see him by like week 14 or 15, which is good. This is what we want. Trey Benson will be back. Thank you. But like, this season has just gone terrible for injuries. James Conner dropping, Trey Benson dropping, Amari being out, Bam Knight has been hurt. Like, that's your 4 guys, and they've all been banged up at some point. Like, the injuries this year can't make it up. Like, you flat out can't make it up, and it's just getting ridiculous at this point. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do with this. Like, this season has gotten derailed. That is a huge reason why we lost all 3 starting corners in the same game. If you guys remember, I believe it was to Carolina. It was Garrett Williams, Max Melton, and Will Johnson all going out. And it was crazy. It was absolutely insane. I thought our corners died on the field. Max Melton and Garrett Williams especially. I thought they were out for the year. And then Will Johnson probably come back in like 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever I said. But like, I thought Garrett Williams died on that field. And he was good. He was fine. He came back from IR. Like, he's playing. It's crazy, but I don't know. This season has just gone so bad. This is something that we said earlier where I said I'm going to touch on it, but it kind of feels like KYLER lost the locker room, and it's not really anything that he did. It's kind of what Jacoby Brissett is doing, and I think KYLER is a better quarterback. I think that's just me personally. Obviously, that is my opinion. Everybody is subject to their own. But the locker room and the things I've heard Michael Wilson talk extremely happy, and just the way they word things, you kind of have to pick up on these things, kind of understand that subliminally they're kind of telling you this is the guy they're fighting for, and yes, it's their quarterback one, it's the guy that's behind center. Of course, you're going to fight for that guy no matter who it is, but he's showing leadership that maybe KYLER doesn't do. I don't know. I'm not in the huddle. I don't know. But this is what I do know. Jacoby Brissett was crediting the Cardinals' offensive line for its zero-sack effort on Sunday. The QB deserves some recognition, says Paris Johnson Jr. He makes it easier. He makes it easier to fight. He's like, that's a guy I want to fight for. It's easier to fight for somebody like him. Feels like KYLER just kind of lost the locker room. And I think if he does come back, Kyler Murray from IR, maybe he plays, depending. It really just depends. Playoffs are not happening this year, especially if a loss. I believe we have less than a 1% chance even with a win. With a loss, basically mathematically rules us out of the playoffs. Like, it just trickles down. We have to win out at this point to even have a chance to make the wild card, and that's less than a 1% chance. So just chalk this season. We're not making the playoffs. But just everything that I'm hearing and all the wording, it feels like KYLER kind of just lost the locker room, which is interesting. It's fascinating, and it's not where you want to be. So I don't know. Jonathan Gannon's going to have some tough decisions coming up because in the offseason, you got to address offensive coordinator. I believe Petzing's contract is over after this year, which is kind of huge. You can just let him go instead of having to fire him. That's nice. But then KYLER, you got to address that. Do you want to move forward with him as your quarterback, or do you want to trade and pivot? Kurt Warner talked about it on PHNX, saying you got to figure that out. And a lot of people are giving him flack, but he wasn't saying you stick with KYLER. He was saying you got to figure whether KYLER is your guy or not. And if he is your guy, you move forward with him and back him with confidence. But if he's not your guy, you pivot. And if he's not your guy and you pivot, then you have to make sure you have an insurance plan because there might not be better out there than KYLER Murray. That's what he said, and I agree full-heartedly. I don't know if there's better out there. If you want the best chance to win, you keep KYLER Murray, and that is just my personal opinion. A lot of people have said it is 7 years, too long. Pack him up. It's time to go. We want to see different. We want to see someone else. But we might not have high enough pick. If we win like 3 more games, hypothetically, which I think against Jacksonville, we have a realistic shot at winning, which is kind of crazy to say. But I think we have a really realistic chance at beating Jacksonville just because of how they have played their opponents. They played it close with the Raiders. They beat the Chiefs. They lost by like 8 to Seattle. Like, they've played games close, and they've also played down to other people's levels. So, like, the Cardinals might have a chance even if we're super banged up. But, like, the injuries, I feel like, just keep catching up. And we're supposed to play the 49ers close. I saw that line. It was, like, -3. I thought Vegas was tripping. I was about to slam everything down against the Cardinals. But then if we won, I would have been pissed that we won. So I was just like, I don't want to bet against my own team because especially I make content for them. I'm going to hop on here. My mood is going to be salty because if they win, I'm just not happy that I just lost, like, $200, but like you get what I'm saying. I don't want to bet against my team. Also, I'm 100% confident because that helps the bank account. The bank account going up is always a good thing. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think KYLER Murray kind of just lost the locker room, but you got to figure out what you do. And it's going to be a constant conversation every single week. It just is what it is. This is what we have to have. The discussions are here. 49ers fans are having it with Brock Purdy. You're hearing it just all around the league with quarterbacks people are uncertain of. So you're always going to have that talk, and we have to continue to have these conversations because it's a week-to-week evaluation, and going into the offseason, we're going to see what happens. But with that being said, that is going to wrap it up. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Much love from me. If you guys are new to the channel, 10,000 subscribers. We're on the way. Let's hit this before the end of the year. We have a month and something days, like a month and 10 days, 11 days. Let's hit 10K. We are like 550 subscribers away. Would appreciate if we can just smack that subscribe button. I'm going to be pushing content out like crazy. I had to get adjusted, get settled in. Now that we're here, content is going to flow. I'm feeling good. We are back. The Cardinals suck, but content is going to come. So with that being said, that is going to wrap it up. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, like I said, consider hitting that subscribe button. Check me out on Bleacher Report as well for more Cardinals content. But that's all I got. Love y'all. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.